Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Catching Up. I'm your host, Jack Smith, joined today by Stella Park from the Mitty women's golf team. Thanks for joining us today, Stella.
Thank you for your invitation.
So, you told me you've been playing golf your whole life, which I believe is something that's pretty rare. What was it about golf that stuck out to you at an early age?
So I basically started from when I was around 5. It wasn't like my personal decision. Like my parents just thought it would be a good idea for me to play golf because they thought it would help to foster my mental capabilities along with physical attributes as well. And so I picked it up from a young age. And then I kept on playing it, and I kind of left the sport for a few years in middle school because I wanted to focus on other sports like cross country and track. And then when I was applying into Mitty, well, actually, in eighth grade, I decided to pick up golf again because I needed to do a high school sport, and it was something that I'd always been doing, and I kind of enjoyed the game, so I decided to really cultivate my skills in that area, and that has driven me to be a junior on the golf team now.
What was it that contributed to your original decision to drop golf for a couple of years?
Yeah, so I had always been doing it, but it had always taken a backseat in my life because as a person in elementary school, it hadn't really been a big thing in my life yet. And my school did not have a golf team, so I decided to do cross country and track, which are very running sports, and I didn't really have time to focus on golf then.
And so then you join the Mitty team and you become a varsity member during your freshman year. What did that mean to you, and what did it mean to your progression through golf?
So I remember getting the news that I made varsity in my freshman year. I remember Coach Masonic walking to my freshman religion class and handing me the packet. Congratulations, you made varsity. And I think that moment was a really big deal to me because I was really worried about what I would get. I mean, starting in as a freshman, I I would hope to make the team, and JV would have been nice. I have been working really hard over the summer to really cultivate my golf skills, and making varsity was kind of a surprise, but it also reflected the amount of work I put into the sport. And as a result of that, I have been consistently in varsity for freshman, sophomore, and I'm going to my junior year now. And what that has really helped me is I've really been able to bond with the other members of the team. Like, for example, when I was a freshman, there were some sophomores on there, and now they're going to be seniors now. And I've been playing with them for a really long time now, and that has brought us all closer together.
How does that relationship foster itself into golf, and how does it help you as an athlete, not even just as a friendship, but as an athlete?
So it really helps me as an athlete because during the game, we actually play with other members of our school. So what happens is you have two people from the same school and two people from another school, and it really helps because it's also a very mental game. So having somebody who is a close teammate and somebody who you can rely on is it helps you mentally because it contributes a positive mindset, and you help to be more confident because you're actually playing with people that you know instead of complete strangers. And also during practices we're also able to motivate each other, and we know each other's skills well, and it really helps you focus on the areas that you need to improve and also boost your confidence.
So you said that you were working a lot going into your freshman year, but then also golf is a mental game, and I think that it's something that a lot of people don't realize. How were you able to put in work for the mental side of golf?
So for the mental game, a lot about golf is anger control and being able to keep your temper down when you do a bad shot, or even on the course, analyzing the wind, the entire weather, analyzing your best approach, the shot. And what really helped me improve the mental aspect of my game is practice. Golf is a game of hours, and it is a game of the mind. So to cultivate your course aspects, what you need to do is really put in a lot of rounds of the course. And having kind of like a mentor figure has helped me in that way too, because my dad has coached me for like my entire life. And so he's always been with me on the course during the practices, and he's helped me cultivate my strategy that way. And as for anger management, it is just, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's like a mantra, but it's like if you hit a bad shot, you really need to have a set procedure you can rely on. So, what helps with mental game is having something you can always fall back on, something that whatever else you mess up, you can mess up everything else, but at least your foundations are still the same. So, if you hit a bad shot, step back, take a moment to think, do your foundations, do your basic skills, and then move on.
What is your foundation?
My foundation is kind of like the foundations of my swing. So every golf swing has certain foundations that must be there, and then you can add on like a few bits on top if you want to like increase your distance or something. But my foundations is really having a really correct stance, um, taking like a practice swing before you hit the ball, making sure that your backswing when you first do it, it's correct, it's like parallel. That those are the foundations that I really focus on. And if I know that at least that is put down, then at least it will go somewhere that I want it to be.
And then I think that your success has obviously continued making varsity your freshman year and then making it to CCS for the first time in 6 years. Could you describe what that meant to you?
That was something, it was exhilarating because my freshman year, our performance wasn't exactly the best performance, but coming to sophomore year, I had a lot of practice underneath my belt, and my scores had like a huge improvement, which is good for at least like a personal success. But I saw other members of the team who I had played with, their skills also improved. And then, due to fortunate circumstances, we were able to, outcompete other schools. And then the coach was like, oh, like, we actually might have a chance in making CCS this year. And then he gave us the news like, congratulations, you guys have made CCS. It's a big deal. It's first time in 6 years. And that was such an enjoyable feeling. It really reflected like if you put in the work, if you have the experience, if you have the time, and if you keep on working towards it, even the impossible can become possible.
And what have you been able to do to build off of that success going into your junior year?
So I actually performed really well at CCS, far better than I ever expected, considering that it was a hard course. And what that did was really increase my confidence, um, because confidence is a huge aspect in golf because you can't approach a game thinking, oh, I'm going to do terribly, because that is going to reflect in your swing. So what that did was that it really boosted my morale, and it's something to hold on to when you're having like not so good days. And it's a goal for next year also, and especially during my practices this year. I haven't really been able to practice too much because golf course is closing down, like safety and everything, but that has really provided me something to look back on and a goal to like maybe do better next year and make CCS again.
And then, kind of to wrap it up, what are your expectations for this season, both as a team and for yourself?
So for this year, there's a lot of things that are uncertain. I'm hoping that the CCS schedule will go to plan, and considering that golf is like a relatively like kind of distance sport, it should be able to happen. But for this year, I'm really excited to see who's going to make the team because I'm going to be a junior, and there's only one other junior, and she was on JV, so like she's probably going to be on varsity this year. And I want to see like who are the freshmen and the maybe freshmen and the sophomores that are going to come up. So I'm really excited to see like who are the people I'm going to be playing with next year. I mean, well, this year. And B is how much the team is going to improve because I know that the existing members of varsity have improved a lot. And especially all of these like new people coming up, they are really strong in golf. So hopefully like the overall Mitty team will be able to improve in scores and everything. And see, it's just like I really hope that we're going to make CCS again. We might be, we probably are going to be, and if we do, how much improvement I'm going to have personally since the last time I played.
And as we finish up, is there anything that you want to talk about at the end? Anyone that you want to focus on before we wrap this interview up?
Um, what I would like to focus on, something to kind of call out, is my coach, Coach Masonic. Um, he's a pretty amazing coach when it comes to golf. Um, aside from like he doesn't really do like the technical skills of coaching golf, but what he does is that he's always there for us no matter what happens, and even during like bad matches, like he's always there to like encourage us, and whenever we do well, like he makes sure to point it out, like personal successes. And it's really nice having a solid positive coach because I know how much I've seen how much in other teams having a bad coach can negatively affect other players. So I'm really appreciative that Coach Masonic has been such an outstanding coach throughout my years on the golf team.
Well, I think that's awesome. And I want to wish you good luck for this season. Hopefully, you guys can make it back to CCS again. We're all pulling for you, and we hope that you guys can improve and see those improvements that you want to see. But thank you for coming and catching up with us, Stella.
No problem. Thank you so much.